Lamont Datway Jones, raw and uncut.
Yo, now my people, I'm gonna make this video as brief as I can, but I felt like since this is something that I've already spoke on, I'm gonna go ahead and give my people who really rocks with that boy Lamont Datway Jones this way of a full, like I just said, breakdown, if you will, when it comes to this topic that I'm about to speak on. You dig? Now, there's this journalist who goes by the name of Diane or Diamond. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. But anyway, as you can see, there's a man holding up a Black Lives Matter sign as a police car burns during a protest in Atlanta, Georgia on May the 29th, 2020. Okay? And the topic that this, journalist, Diane, pretty much was speaking on, the title was The Hypocrisy of the Black Lives Matter Movement. Okay? And her commentary was, Black Lives Matter, of course they do, but is it now abundantly clear that the lives, safety, and dignity of black men, women, and children are not really what drives organizers of the Black Lives Matter movement? That is a shame. The world has been fed a bill of goods about BLM's goals. Now we see they are about creating civil unrest and nothing more. We should have realized this after one of its co-founders proudly declared she is a trained Marxist. Marxism, by definition, argues for a worker revolution to overturn capitalism in favor of communism. The BLM website says the group builds power to bring justice, healing, and freedom to black people. Really? Then why haven't they mobilized in hotspot neighborhoods where blacks are most frequently victimized? In New York, BLM organizers concentrate on painting their name on streets, yet do nothing to help stop the ever-increasing civilian slaughter of mostly black citizens. Shootings during the first 6 months of this year are up 46%, and homicides increased more than 20%. Yet, BLM's cries for defunding the police continue, and the mayor's response was to cut $1 billion from the NYPD budget. The department's anti-crime unit focused on disarming criminals and curbing violent crime in mostly minority neighborhoods was disbanded. The latest shock to New Yorkers came when a 22-month-old baby boy, Datway Gardner, was senselessly shot and killed at a Brooklyn barbecue. The shooting also left 3 adult men wounded. All the victims were black, and police suspect the shooters were too. They are talking about Black Lives Matter, said Datway's grieving grandmother, but black lives don't matter because black people are trying to kill other black people. Samantha Gardner added, what are we all thinking? It needs to stop. Catch the bastards. In Chicago, where more than 100 mostly black people were shot by civilians over a recent weekend. One local reverend said it is an open season killing field. Nearly 2,000 Chicagoans have been shot so far this year, hundreds fatally. And yes, the majority of victims and known assailants are black. Now, with that being said, my good people, before I continue on with Mrs. Diane's commentary, on the information that she gathered on this topic, okay? I'm just going to say this. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, and yes, and the reason I'm breaking this down and saying this is, yes, I know that a lot of black-on-black crimes have a lot to do with the environment, okay? That a lot of, especially young black, men, having to come up in. Okay, I get that. The poverty rate, all that is high when it comes to most of these, type of environments where these type of, things, mostly happen. And I get that. But the point I was trying to make is don't just sit around and continue to ignore the movement that is going on, okay? Because I'm just being straight up 100 with my people when I say this, because I feel like this. If you see a movement where it's going to benefit your race as a whole when it comes to pretty much uplifting, your people in the community as well, don't continue to take this type of thing for granted. And the reason I say that, because if you're going to continue to commit genocide, that's pretty much how I feel like, the majority of these young black males are taking, this type of thing when it comes to this movement, okay? Even though a lot of people want to argue that Black Lives Matter is really not our movement because of who it was started by. Okay, true enough, it was started by the LGBT community, okay? So what? If it's, who cares who it was started by, okay? But the main point people try to make when they use the Black Lives Matter tag is, in their eyes, and I get it, are saying just people of color lives, especially black lives as well, matter, regardless of who started it, okay? I wouldn't give a damn who started it. That's why some of the people kill me when they go, well, it's not our move because of who started it. I wouldn't give a damn who started it. The point people try to make when they use the term Black Lives Matter is all Black Lives Matter, not just the LGBT Black Lives Matter movement. You dig what I'm saying? Think about what I'm saying, my people. Anyway, that being said, as she went on in her commentary, Mrs. Diane, to state, so where is the Black Lives Matter movement in Chicago to try to curb this trend? Has BLM piled into the Windy City to marshal local ministries, ministers, community leaders, and concerned citizens to try to combat the carnage against black Americans? No. In Minneapolis, authorities report at least 116 people were shot in the 4 weeks following the death of George Floyd. Recently, there were 3 gang-related shootings in one day, one in a majority black neighborhood in North Minneapolis, where 50 children ages 5 to 14 were at football practice. One eyewitness, a mother, posted a chilling video saying the shooters obviously had no regard for life. Luckily, no child was shot. With that being said, she also went on to say in her commentary, did Black Lives Matter come in to help soothe the psychic wounds of those mostly black children, or to mobilize grown-ups to guard against another incident? No. In Atlanta, at the burned-out Wendy's restaurant where BLM gathered after police killed a black man who shot at them with a taser, another, tragedy took place. An 8-year-old black child was fatally shot as she rode by in a car. It was yet another mindless black-on-black shooting. Her father later told the criminals, get this, you killed a child. She didn't do nothing to nobody. Black Lives Matter, you killing your own. Wow. The mantra of Black Lives Matter is now part of the American lexicon. All clear-thinking citizens embrace it, and the idea that violent police tactics need to be abolished. Embracing those ideas and the BLM organization are two very different things. The movement, funded with multiple millions of dollars donated by well-meaning corporations, celebrities, and concerned people, is fatally flawed. BLM lacks true leadership. Wow. Fiscal transparency and an explicit mission statement. Wow. Fiscal transparency and an explicit mission statement. Anyway, to be viable, the organization must condemn the violence perpetrated in its name. Perpetrated. Sorry about that. I'm trying to read a little faster than I normally do because I'm on a time limit. Anyway, I'm sorry about that, my people. Anyway, like I was saying, I'm going to say that again. To be viable, the organization must condemn that the violence perpetuated in its name, along with illegal occupations, the burning and looting, and the vandalism so frequently seen. So far, we haven't heard a peep from self-described Marxist leadership. Remembering the lessons from the righteous civil rights era of the 50s and 60s, I often wonder what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or Rosa Parks would think about today's movement for racial justice. I believe they would be greatly disappointed. With that being said, my people, Lamont is an author and investigative journalist. She also has a book. Her latest book is Thinking Outside the Crime and Justice Box. Now, with all that being said, my people, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my last take on this topic, because like I said, if you guys are familiar with any of the videos that I do, you will already know that I've already spoken on this topic. At the time, I was a little heated when I, did first decide to speak on this topic, because I was like pretty much in shock and outrage when I seen how many, blacks, people of color, whatever you want to call it, lost their lives, in Chicago alone, as well as other, cities and neighborhoods across the nation, across America, or whatever. Okay, but this is what I would like to clarify when it comes to this topic. See, what a lot of these young black men, or just black men, some people of color, period, don't understand is, see, when it comes to this gang stuff, okay, I'm about to break some things down, okay. Don't forget, it's similar to the Democrat, or should I say Democratic and Republican groups. You dig? Think about what I'm saying, my people. See, in other words, gangs were set up in America a long time ago. And what I mean by that is, what a lot of people don't know or understand, when it came to pretty much this country getting took over, it was actually took over by a gang of individuals. Think about what I'm saying. That were all heavily armed, You dig what I'm saying? Think about it. I'm telling you. That's why a lot of people, you ever heard the old saying, there's no gang bigger than the police gang? Dig what I'm saying? Think about that. Gangs has, in other words, this country was pretty much built on gangs. And that's why it's always been instilled in the minds of the majority of the American people, especially when it comes to blacks. Think about what I'm saying. You gotta ask yourself, okay, true enough, you got stories that they give you. You know, believe it or not, the powers that be, they put these certain people in place. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to running these type of organizations, if you will. And what I mean by that, my good people, think about this. You'll be surprised on how the government has funded gangs in America. I'm telling you now, but I still gotta say allegedly when I say these type of things as well. But believe me, it's true. You know, they think about what I'm saying, my good people. You got your Democratic gang, then you got your Republican gang, and you know they got the red and blue to represent each side of those parties as well. Think about what I'm saying, my good people. Because if I feel like this, if gangs, if the American, or should I say the if the United States of America, when it comes to the government, if they felt like these street gangs was gonna be that huge of a threat, believe me, they had their ways uh, how can I put this? They had their way. They have or had or still have their ways of completely shutting this type of thing down when it comes to gangs. Oh, you can best believe that, buddy. But notice they want to continue to still play games and play cat and mouse games with these gangs because they know that it's detrimental to them. Okay, that we as the black race continue to kill each other, commit genocide. You dig what I'm saying? Think about what I'm saying, my people. And now I know a lot of people are not going to like or agree with what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna still say it because I feel like this, you know, there are some of my people out there that really need to know this. Okay? And so until then, until we decide or how can I put this? The people that who are affiliated, okay? Until you guys decide to start using these gang affiliations to you all's advantage to overcome or defeat your oppressors. Black Lives Matter, what is it gonna matter? Think about what I'm saying, my people. I mean, come on. You would have to be insane if you are a person of color not to agree with what I just said. And that's the only point I was trying to make in the last video I did on this topic. As you can see, as you guys can see, all the backlash that the BLM, organization is starting to get, and I've seen it coming from a mile away. That's why I made that last vlog about this type of thing. Now see how they're beginning to trash the Black Lives Matter movement because they're saying, okay, if you're gonna act this way every time you feel like you're killed by the racist rogue cops, which is also known as being of the oppressors as well. Okay, why not go that hard when it comes to black on black crime? And I seen it coming. And I'm not trying to be a hypocrite or whatever, but I mean I'm just keeping it 100 with my people. You dig? I mean I seen it coming. I knew it, man. And that's why, like I said, I'm gonna say this one last time. You know, to all my people who are gang affiliated, until you guys learn to use your gang affiliation to you guys' advantage when it comes to pretty much overcoming the hardships that your people have had to deal with for hundreds of years when it comes to your oppressors. Like I said, what's Black Lives Matter gonna matter? Just gotta stop and ask yourself this. My people, you dig what I'm saying? Because, I mean, think about this. Look at all the other gangs you have when it comes to whites, like the KKK. You got the Aryan Nation, skinheads, um, um, neo-Nazis. You dig what I'm saying? You don't see them running around here, you know, taking each other out. The only time, some guys of that nature, when it comes to their type of gangs that they're affiliated with, only time it'll really come to that type of altercation with those guys is if, like, okay, if they're incarcerated or something of that nature. But you don't see that out on in the streets of out here in the free world. You just don't see that. I know I ain't never seen it, and I'm not taking any sides on this. I'm just calling it, the way that I've always seen it. And when it comes to this type of thing, I've never saw that. When it comes to the type of gangs that most, whites are affiliated with. You dig what I'm saying? Anyway, my good people, you just got to stop and think about what I'm saying here, okay? In other words, my good people, this was just a little, food for thought. You dig what I'm saying, my good people? Because let me remind you, okay? All these different white supremacist gangs I just named, don't forget, every time you decide to, go against each other instead of unite like most of their gangs do, you're pretty much doing their jobs. You're making their jobs a hell of a lot more easier. Because don't forget, when it all boils down to it, my people, these are some of the same people that might as well say every black person or person of color dead. You dig what I'm saying? Think about that. Okay? Just a little food for thought once again. You dig what I'm saying, my people? Yeah, don't forget, man, these people, they already want people like us dead. Why you guys think we going through this one of the worst times of our lives when it comes to this, as I would call it, not pandemic, I call it plandemic. You dig what I'm saying? Why you guys think we going through this right now? Because not only do they, even though we are some of the main ones they want dead, but when it comes to their depopulation agenda as a whole, guess what? It applies to everybody unless you come from, like I said, from some type of royalty or some shit or something like that, or was born, from a wealthy family. Then you can best believe that the population agenda rules that they've been playing and trying to all of a sudden speed up most definitely applies to you as well. You dig what I'm saying? Anyway, my people, with that being said, if you felt like, you learned anything or gained any type of knowledge from this video, make sure you guys don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You dig? Anyway, my good people, with that being said, I just wanted to thank everybody who decided to stop and rock with that boy, Lamont, Datway, Jones, this way. You dig? With that being said, my good people, till next time, my good people, peace. Peace out.